Welcome to Abundify, a channel created to help you reach the highest levels of abundance in every area of your life. Here, we believe that transformation begins within and manifests all around us. What you're about to hear today has the potential to change how you feel, think, and create your reality through the most powerful center that exists, your heart. Let me ask you something simple. When was the last time you truly felt whole? I mean really whole. At peace, centered, without needing anything outside to change for you to feel good inside? That feeling, which often seems distant in our fast-paced lives, isn't just a memory. It's a state that can be cultivated, accessed, and sustained. And the path to that state begins right here, in the center of your chest. Today, we are diving into Chapter 4 of Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza, a chapter titled Blessing of the Energy Centers, which is not just about meditation, but about the true energetic alchemy that happens when you begin to activate your inner system with awareness, intention, and elevated emotion. This chapter marks a shift in the book. If previous chapters were about accessing the quantum field and tuning into new potentials, now Joe shows us how to prepare the operating system of the body to receive that new frequency. And the key lies in the energy centers. You might have heard of them as chakras. Maybe not. What matters is what they are. Centers that regulate physical, emotional, and energetic functions in the human body. And more than that, they are portals, antennas, inner radars. And when these centers are out of balance, it's like your entire system is operating out of tune. But when you begin to align, activate, and bless these centers with intention, something changes. And it truly does. Joe reminds us that each of these centers is connected to the autonomic nervous system, the part of your body that controls everything you don't consciously think about: heartbeat, breathing, digestion, hormones, immunity. This is the system where real healing happens. And it's through this system that you can reprogram your biology, but not through effort, through presence. The practice he introduces, called Blessing of the Energy Centers, is a guided meditation where you bring your attention one by one to each energetic center of the body. And there, at each point, you send information through your intention, your breath, and most importantly, through elevated emotions like love, gratitude, joy, and compassion. Why does this work? Because, as we've seen before, thought is the electrical charge. It gives direction. Emotion is a magnetic charge. It gives power. When you unite the two in coherence, you're emitting a vibrational signal that literally communicates with the quantum field. Now imagine doing this not randomly, but intentionally focusing on specific centers that govern specific areas of your body and your life. It's like updating internal software, but instead of using a keyboard, you're using your heart. And speaking of the heart, this chapter introduces us to the essential role of the fourth energy center, the heart center. According to Joe, it is the bridge between the physical world and the spiritual world. It's the point where the lower three centers, survival, sexuality, power, meet the upper three, expression, intuition, transcendence. The heart is where everything integrates. The heart is where separation dissolves. And it is from the heart that you begin to create not through effort, but through grace. Here's something crucial: the idea of heart coherence. This is when your heart beats in a smooth, harmonious, stable rhythm aligned with elevated emotions. And this isn't just poetic, it's measurable. It improves your immune system, lowers blood pressure, balances hormones, sharpens intuition, enhances mental clarity, and even positively affects your gene expression como se torna sobrenat. Even more, when you live centered in the heart, your brain changes. Literally, the areas responsible for fear, stress, and survival reduce their activity, and those associated with creativity, problem-solving, and expanded awareness become more active como se torna sobrenat. In other words, activating your heart doesn't just feel good. It makes you biologically more capable of living the life you truly desire. This chapter is not just about meditation. It's about remembering that your body is a living temple of creation. It's about recognizing that within you lies a system of intelligence beyond logic, one that feels, that knows, that responds to the frequency of love. And when you activate this system consistently, You stop waiting for miracles because you become the miracle. So in this episode, I invite you to go deep. Let's explore together the wisdom behind the energy centers. Let's understand why the heart is the true brain of the spirit. And let's prepare the way for practice so you can begin to experience what happens when you bless your body with awareness, intention, and elevated emotion. Because everything you want to live already exists in the field. But your body must become the ideal receiver of that new frequency. And it begins in your heart. Development, recalibrating the system, the intelligence of your energy centers. If you stayed with me so far, chances are something within you is awakening. Something that goes far beyond information. It's a memory, a resonance, a subtle, quiet realization that your body is much more than flesh and blood. It's a precise and sacred instrument for creation. In Chapter 4, Becoming Supernatural, Dr. Joe Dispenza introduces a practice that bridges ancient wisdom and cutting-edge science, the blessing of the energy centers. But before we explore the how, we need to understand the why behind this technique. And for that, we have to talk about your energy body. Dispenza explains that your body contains 8 primary energy centers, also referred to in ancient traditions as chakras, each associated with a specific gland, neurological network, hormones, and emotional themes. These centers aren't just mystical concepts. They are neurochemical hubs, deeply integrated into your biological system. Each of them holds a specific vibrational frequency, and when we are stressed, afraid, reactive, or stuck in survival mode, the energy flowing through them becomes incoherent. That incoherence isn't just energetic. It translates into physical symptoms, emotional reactivity, mental fog, or even illness. What Joe teaches us is revolutionary in its simplicity. By bringing your conscious attention and elevated emotion to each energy center, you can restore harmony and intelligence throughout your body. You become the healer. You become the conductor of your own internal symphony. Let's walk through each of these centers together. First center, root, base of the spine. This is the foundation, the survival center. It governs the adrenal glands and is related to our most primal instincts: safety, security, reproduction, and territory. When this center is in balance, we feel grounded and safe in our existence. When out of balance, we become hypervigilant, anxious, or obsessed with control. In the blessing practice, you direct loving awareness to the center, not to judge it, but to bring it back to coherence. The message becomes, I am safe, I am supported, I trust life. Second center, sacral, below the navel. This center is about pleasure, creativity, sensuality, and emotional connection. It governs the reproductive organs and is linked to the gonads and ovaries. When the center is aligned, we feel passionate, open, creative. When blocked, we may feel shame, guilt, or a loss of joy and spontaneity. Blessing this center isn't about indulging emotion, it's about elevating it. You're saying to your system, I honor my desires. I am creative. I am emotionally fluid. Third center, solar plexus, upper abdomen. This is a power center associated with will, self-confidence, and action. It connects to the pancreas, stomach, liver, and digestive system. In coherence, we feel empowered, focused, and capable. Out of balance, we lean into control, ego, or helplessness. By blessing this center, we reclaim our personal power, not to dominate, but to align with our purpose. The message becomes, I act with integrity. I am strong and centered in who I am. Fourth center, heart, center of the chest. The heart is the axis, the bridge between the material and the spiritual. It governs the thymus gland and is deeply linked to immunity and compassion. This is where everything shifts. When the heart is open, we connect with life in a different way. We no longer force. We allow. We radiate. Blessing the heart center opens a gateway to healing, not just for ourselves, but for others. This is where coherence begins. I am love. I radiate gratitude. I forgive. I am whole. Fifth center, throat, center of the neck. This is the center of expression and truth. It's linked to the thyroid and parathyroid glands, which regulate metabolism and energy flow. When this center is open, we speak our truth with kindness and clarity. When blocked, we feel voiceless, unseen, or dishonest, even with ourselves. The blessing here is one of authenticity. I express my truth freely and lovingly. My voice is aligned with my soul. Sixth center, third eye, between the eyebrows. This is the seat of intuition, vision, and insight. It's associated with the pineal gland, which is deeply connected to circadian rhythms and mystical states. When this center is activated, we become visionary. We begin to perceive beyond the obvious, to trust the invisible, to listen to the silence. Blessing this center is like polishing a lens. I see with clarity. I trust my inner guidance. I am open to expanded perception. Seventh center, crown, top of the head. The crown center is pure connection to the divine. It's linked to the pituitary gland and transcends logic, bringing us into unity consciousness. Hey, we are no longer separate. We are part of everything. The blessing here is simple and profound. I am connected to Source. I surrender to higher intelligence. Eighth center, beyond the head, the field. Joe introduces an eighth center, not within the body, but above it. This is where our personal energy field meets the universal field, the source of downloads, synchronicities, and divine intelligence. We bless this center to expand our awareness beyond the body, into the quantum. The message: I am limitless. I merge with the unified field. I become the frequency of the divine. Now imagine this. Every time you practice the blessing of the energy centers, you're not just relaxing. You are activating a bioenergetic upgrade. You are telling your body that it is time to heal, time to balance, time to rise. And more than that, you are creating a new baseline for existence, one in which you don't wait to feel better. You bless yourself into becoming better. This is how we prepare the body to receive the future. Because to live a supernatural life, your inner world must reflect the vibrational state of the reality you want to manifest. Joe is clear. You can't create the miraculous from a place of chaos. You can't expect abundance while living in fear. You can't access coherence through disconnection. The blessing of the energy centers is a training in presence, in energy, in grace. It's about teaching the body what it feels like to be whole again. It's about becoming the kind of person, biologically, energetically, emotionally, who matches the life you are ready to live. Not through effort, through alignment. To bless is to become. At this point in our journey, something essential begins to crystallize. A remembrance, a recognition, a truth that doesn't need to be proven, only felt. You are the healer, not because of what you do, but because of what you are when you're coherent, present, and fully alive in your body. The practice introduced in Chapter 4, Becoming Supernatural, is not just a meditation, it's a reclamation, a sacred act of reconnecting with the intelligent design of your own being. Joe Dispenza teaches us that every energy center is like an instrument, and most people are walking around with their internal orchestra out of tune, unaware, misaligned, and in survival mode. When we bless our energy centers, we don't just relax. We retune the orchestra. We allow life to flow through us with elegance, vitality, and meaning. And perhaps the most beautiful part is this. When you bless your energy centers regularly, something extraordinary happens. You stop waiting. You stop chasing. You stop trying to control reality from the outside. And instead, you become the frequency of what you once thought you had to earn. Let me say that again. You become the frequency. And when you become the frequency, life responds to you differently, not because of effort, but because of coherence. You no longer pray for healing. You embody health. You no longer visualize love. You radiate love. You no longer beg for abundance. You feel whole, and abundance finds you. That's the supernatural. That's what Joe is teaching us. Not just a dream of change, but to become the change biologically, energetically, emotionally. The blessing of the energy centers is a roadmap, a guide to remind your body what wholeness feels like. And when you repeat this blessing daily, the body begins to believe it. And when the body believes it, reality has no choice but to reflect it. Seedling 5 practices to embody Chapter 4. Here are 5 simple but powerful ways to embody the teachings of this chapter in your daily life, plus a powerful bonus to accelerate your journey. 1. Daily Energy Center Meditation, 15 to 30 minutes. Set aside time each day to practice the full blessing of the energy centers. Move your awareness through each center, breathing deeply, visualizing light, and feeling elevated emotions like gratitude or love. Start from the root and rise to the crown, then connect to the field above. Do this consistently and patiently. 2. Journaling your emotional vibrations. After each practice, write down what you felt in each center. Were some blocked? Were others vibrant? Over time, you'll start to see patterns and progress. Your body is always speaking to you. This journaling helps you learn the language. 3. Heart coherence check-ins. Throughout the day, pause and take 60 seconds to breathe into your heart. Inhale for 5 seconds, exhale for 5 seconds, and feel gratitude or compassion. These short check-ins reset your nervous system and recenter your energy. 4. Use emotion as fuel. Don't wait for the right moment to feel joy or love. Use your emotional state as a tool for realignment. Anytime you feel yourself slipping into stress, pause and bless your heart center. Shift your frequency before your thoughts spiral. 5. Sacred body awareness. Touch your body throughout the day with reverence. Place a hand on your chest or belly and say, "Thank you for being my instrument. I trust you. I bless you." This deepens your relationship with your physical self and keeps you aligned with the energy of respect and love. Headphone bonus, the Genius Wave, tuning your brain for blessing. Now let me share something that can enhance this journey, especially if you've struggled with overthinking, mental chatter, or difficulty reaching deep meditative states. It's called the Genius Wave, a tool that uses advanced binaural frequencies to help your brain shift into theta state, the same brainwave state where healing, intuition, and reprogramming occur. Listening to this while doing your blessing of the energy centers can deepen your emotional immersion, quiet your inner dialogue faster, enhance the coherence between heart and brain, help you feel the blessing, not just think it. Of course, it's optional. You don't need any tool to become supernatural. But if it resonates, the link is in the description. Feel free to explore it and see if it supports your practice. Final message. If something in this video stirred you, if a part of you remembered who you really are, if you felt, even briefly, a sense of peace, connection, or expansion, then this is your path. You're not broken. You don't need fixing. You are energy. You are consciousness. You are capable of creating anything. And now, you have the tools. You have the breath. You have the blessing. So start today. Not because something is missing, but because you're ready to align with the wholeness that was always within you. If this episode of Abundify helped you tune deeper into your inner power, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and share this video with someone who's ready to become supernatural too. Because together, we rise. Together, we become the field. Together, we live in coherence. See you in the next one. And remember, you don't have to wait. You just have to bless.